I wish I could give you the classic. This happened to a friend of mine. I honestly truly do. Then I could make it a lot less gruesome in my head than it already was. Then I could doubt about it like the rest of you, because even though this happened to me, even though we're witnesses, sometimes I'm not quite sure if I believe in myself. That indeed happened. Has anyone heard of LittleBigPlanet? Well, that 5D platformer which contains a level creator and the stars as the main protagonist, Sackboy? Well, I love that game a lot and mostly spend time creating levels and create more than I would sometimes have a look at the levels that were other people would create. But one night, I remember playing a level that was so terrifying, but I didn't know how it would play throughout the level ever again. I was playing LittleBigPlanet 2, since my LittleBigPlanet 1 game for some reason won't work at all. I am on the last level of the game, but I can't seem to complete it. So when I have been trying numerous times to complete the level, the system froze. I unplugged the system, and it did the normal routine that normally happens when you unplug it. When I went to go play Big Planet 2, only to find out that I went to the game's logo on my PS Freeze XMB, it seemed normal. Actually, nothing off happened for the most of the time while I was playing. Once in a while, it would freeze for a second and then fast forward to catch back with the sound. Nearing when I was going to make the level is when things got strange. It didn't seem off at first, but I would soon find out. Apparently, I was making a level of a game about Angry Birds when I published it. Then I went to making levels of Mario, Pokemon, SpongeBob SquarePants, but then I was in the making of a level about a Disney's Cars. Now, things got a little bit strange. The HDMI, I just stared at a flicker on my TV. Immediately I went to my pod, and then went back to out of my moon. But then when I tried, a message appeared. Find a level called SackBoy.exe. I searched through my entire room and then found it. Why was this level here? I asked myself. I'd never made this, so why was it here? I opened the level and spawned a near thing. I had no idea what it was. I moved my Sackboy right, and his costume kept on changing every time I went to move him. I tried to open my poplet and then change him back, but it wouldn't let me. So I decided to keep saying that even though the level did look like it had blood on the floor, and it had knives everywhere. My Sackboy had a little knife in his hand, and he stabbed some other people. He said, "You despicable human beings must be dead." I don't think Sackboys would be considered as human beings, but I would consider them to be plushies. I moved closer and saw Toogle, Swoop, Oddsock, Larry Da Vinci, Alvanar Countryvy, Chive, Handforth, Eve, Sylvia Paragora, Herbert, Victoria, Nana, Marlin, Papow, and Pinky Bufflums, all with the other Sackbots lying dead on the ground. Then the Negavitation and Neutron came into the room and shot missiles at all of them, making them wiped out of existence. My Sackboy expression then turned to a sad expression as he was crying. Neutron said, "Would you like to join them?" I clicked yes, and then it took me to a minigame called Sackboy.exe. I was playing as Swoop, and I tried to make him fly, but when I did, the screen from Sonic.exe played at a really high volume. Good thing I was the only one at home at the time. Afterwards, it cut to a picture of my Sackboy with the words "Game Over" underneath him. He then had a red, bloody eyes and sharp teeth. I quit the game after that and went to bed. I couldn't sleep that night. When I went to sleep, I could see Sackboy.exe in my mind. The next day, just before I turn on my PS3, I got an email from one of the Media Molecule employees known as Victor. He said that Stephen Friday took the staff to see the computer and he had made the level. And sure enough, they found a virus store in there, which was sent to this level, and possibly other creepy levels. It's everyone's copy of the game, but the level led to out of nowhere. Victor's job was to handle computers, so he was able to look through those who couldn't. He then tried tracing back to where the level had came from, and the virus was still there, but there was no lead to follow. Either the prankster was an employee who had made the level from the game itself and when sent to everyone's game, had this cover his many tracks as well, or something was very, very wrong here. I referred to a rational explanation or something out of the nature, so I adopted to believe that it was an employee who had access to the files of the game. Either way, other than the corrupted file and the virus had left behind, there was no evidence of disturbing level I played. It was gone. He says that there was one hell of an effort put into a one-time prank. He's right, though. I would never hear anything sort of again. You would think it'd come out if I had. I checked, and Victor did too. There was no records of anything like it anywhere. I tried to contact Media Molecule the next day, but they said that they no longer work on LittleBigPlanet, which is BS because they only cared about dreams and what a piece of crap knockoff. I guess they were just only focused on their new games now. I stopped playing for a few days because of that stupid ass level ruined my life and made me stop playing for a few days, and after those few days I booted up the game again and got a corrupted profile message. I managed to get bypassed it by pressing circle, and then it went to my moon, and then the level was gone. I guess Media Molecule fixed the virus. The incident also happened on the news, and many people just know about it. I guess some still these corrupted levels are on the moon, and I couldn't delete them. So now I guess I will have to live with those damn corruption levels on our games until Media Molecule fully fixes the problem that was sending these levels to people's copies of the games and delete whatever that thing was. But the files, that's what's making this happen. And that, my little pretties, was LittleBigPlanet 2, the virus level. A LittleBigPlanet Lost Game creepypasta written by it was written by SackBoy. SackBoy, I want to thank you so much for the story. Now, before we get on to this, I am going to sit there and say that I'm going to be completely honest. This story was not good. Now, I am going to be completely honest that I know this story was kind of requested, a while ago. I think it was maybe a few months ago or something. I don't remember if I could recall getting this, but I do remember going through and getting this link, so I ended up having to, sit there and, narrate this story. But I'm going to be completely honest. This story was not good. Now, I am going to be honest with you, Sackboy. This is not, I'm not meant to harass. This is not meant to, attack anyone. I'm only doing this because I want to help you get better with your writing. I want to be able to sit there and help you get better with your writing. But, I'm just only doing this because I want to help you get better with your writing. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, and I am going to be nice about this. First of all, this story is a ripoff of the Toy Story 3 alternative ending. I noticed that it's kind of the exact same thing because, I, read the first bit of the story, and I know it was a ripoff of another story. So as I was reading more, I realized that this whole thing is just cliched. It was, and it's been, I really don't know what to do, what to say. Why would you sit there and, kind of copy and paste, something that's been done in a pasta before? It doesn't work that way if you sit there and do that. I didn't really like the fact that this story was cliched. There was blood, gore, and oh my god. Why does it always have to involve everyone dying at the end? There's no reason for it. So it's probably why I'm, was having facepalmed right then and there because of that. And now there was a scream from Sonic.exe oh my god. Why would you even add those to begin with? There's literally no reason to sit there and do that. There's literally no reason to sit there and do that. And another thing I'm gonna say, the grammar was okay. I know there was some punctuation errors and grammatical errors, but this story just wasn't good. And the only thing I could definitely say was that the grammar was decent. Well, was good, and same with the sentence structuring. Although there are a few punctuation errors in it, so I am going to be sitting there and being completely honest. This story just wasn't that great. And, to be honest, I will say this right now. Don't you ever plagiarize a story. So, I can definitely say, you never plagiarize a story. You never, sit there and, say, you never plagiarize a story. You don't put in, don't mention certain creepypastas like, Sonic.exe was mentioned. don't mention creepypasta. Mentioning a creepypasta in a creepypasta just doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way. And I'm being completely and utterly honest, it just doesn't work. That's me sitting here and saying this. Now, I am gonna sit there and just say I don't really like that the story was just a ripoff of Toy Story alternative ending. Now, I am going to be completely honest that this story it wasn't bad. Well, it was bad. I take what back when I say it just didn't work out. That's the main issue. I definitely saying this. This story, what I would suggest to do is delete this story and start over. That's what I suggest. Now, if the Shadow Reader were to read this, I would have a feeling he would agree on the stuff I said. Like, I'm not ranting or anything. I'm just doing this review so I can help you get better with your writing, Sackboy. Why don't you just sit there and, come up with something new? Like, come up with your own ideas. Not sit there and, throw in, a bunch of cliches or even rip off another story because you think it's, cool. Or you just, decide because you can. Like, there's no reason for that. And there's no reason. I'm being completely honest. There is just no reason for it. And it's just to be honest. There is no reason for that. And I'm being completely honest. I'm only doing this so I can help you get better with your writing. I guess I kind of already explained, certain things, but yeah, if I'm missing something, feel free to comment in the comment section down below. Sackboy, I'm sorry. I know you tried to come up with something a bit different, but this story just failed miserably. Now, I'm going to sit there and say this right now. This is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of the story, 0 out of 10. I'm sorry, that's just all I can give it. Well, the grammar was alright and all that, but it needs to be fixed up. The story needs a rewrite. That's just all it needs. But yeah, and don't rip off another story because that will show people and make them seem that you're lazy. I'm only doing this so I can help you get better with writing in the future. Okay, I guess with that being the case and with that being said, what did you guys think about this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and if you happen to be brand new here on this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so then you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out.